Briana Aldridge joined by Garrett Podell from CBS Sports. Today is Thursday, and we saw the shells on, unlike the easy walkthrough practice as of Wednesday. But the biggest thing to start, we got to hear from the Cowboys coordinators, and Matt Eberflus, of course, is the main attraction storyline because he's going back to Soldier Field for the first time since the franchise let him go from that head coaching position. Now, the biggest thing that stood out to me, Garrett, was everyone's playing it like the revenge game. I'm putting it in quotes, but he's downplaying it. Just another game, Garrett.
Oh, absolutely. He rolled into his press conference today with us, and he was very clear. Yep, just Chicago, week 3. We're just here to improve, guys. But no, I mean, I think everyone knows that this is a big deal for him. I mean, when we had a chance to speak to Dak Prescott today, he said, yeah, selfishly, I want to win this game for him so that we can toss him a game ball or anything like that. He said, I obviously want to win for the team. But, Dak's been able to know Matt Eberflus for a long time because Eberflus was the linebackers coach here at the beginning of Prescott's career in the late 2010s. And so he's got a long-standing relationship. They'll talk about golf and their faith and things like that. So even if Eberflus isn't willing to admit it, the players are certainly riding hard for him here in week 3 as they head back to Soldier Field.
Yeah, it feels like game ball would go to him, but we're not gonna be a part of the revenge game train there. But regardless, it is going to be a task. The defense had some notable flaws. Miscommunication is the key word being thrown around. Let's talk about what this 0-2 Bears team is struggling with that maybe Eberflus can take advantage of.
Yeah, I think the big thing is Caleb Williams, who he knows very well, the former number 1 overall pick from 2024. He doesn't do as well when pressured, when blitzed. But that's going to be really interesting because the Cowboys with Eberflus are a bottom 10 blitzing team. That's not really his MO. What the Cowboys have done with Eberflus this year is they're number 1 in the NFL in zone coverage and then dead last in the NFL in man coverage. So what does that tell us? That shows, there's the injuries, right? Deron Bland's out with the foot. Trayvon Diggs, even though he's playing a starter's amount of snaps now, 59 in week 2, there's maybe not that level of confidence for them to play that kind of man-to-man press in your face coverage that they did under Dan Quinn for all those years. So I think it's going to be a lot of zone coverage and a lot of blitzing. Trayvon blitzed, he said, joking around first time in his career the other week. Maybe more things like that to heat up Caleb Williams. Because when he gets out of the pocket and is frantic, we saw in week 2 against the Lions, he was just trying to throw the ball away. Boom, that's a pick to Kirby Joseph, the Lions safety. So Williams' throwaways can sometimes turn into takeaways for the defense.
Well, let's switch to the other side of the ball because the Chicago's defense gave up 50-plus points to the Lions, and they had a little offensive clinic. So you would love to see the Cowboys picked up where they left off, putting up 40-plus points against the Giants and having a Madden-type number games because this offense, they're clicking, Garrett.
They are. I mean, Dak said today that he's most definitely feeling like this is the most confident ball he's playing. And I think one of the big reasons why, when he was in the locker room speaking, was he said now he almost doesn't even have to read the coverage as so much. He feels the pass rush, and he knows this playbook with Brian Schottenheimer so well. He can just kind of throw to spots. He knows, okay, CeeDee's going to be here, Jake Ferguson's going to be up the seam in the middle, and then Pickens will be somewhere on the other side most of the time of the play than Lamb. So he's just kind of in that rhythm of throwing his spots, and it's really working for him. And CeeDee Lamb said, yeah, he's definitely playing his best ball. And I think just what Schottenheimer and Dak said, it's that trust. Everyone, the personnel, even though Pickens has only been here under a few months, dating back to May, it's all kind of there for them. So I think certainly with injuries to Jalen Johnson, the Bears' number 1 corner, he's going to be out this week. And Kyler Gordon, we don't know if he's going to be out, but he hasn't practiced today and yesterday. It's looking like it's going to be banged up secondary for Chicago.
Yeah, and that I was just going to say, if you're CeeDee Lamb, if you're George Pickens and you're watching the secondary, especially how they were working last week against the Lions, you got to be smiling because it seems like CeeDee said, he's expecting the double team per usual, but that means you have somebody else open. That somebody else is Pickens. That somebody else is Ferg and Kevontae Turpin. Some good news for the offense. Looks like he's going to be set to play on Sunday. So I asked you, Garrett, before we head out, CeeDee Lamb has had 200-plus yard games so far. Do you feel like week 3 is going to continue that?
I absolutely do, Bree. I mean, yes, they're going to send double teams his way. That's what they did with the Saints last year when Dennis Allen, the current Bears DC, was the New Orleans head coach. But I would have to say yes. I mean, you saw the Lions, Jameson Williams, 8. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8. I mean, everyone kind of got their numbers. And I think with the way Dallas is playing, and especially even Grady Jarrett, the defensive tackle Pro Bowl in the middle for the Bears, he's a little banged up. He practiced limited today. He might not be 100%. So if that pass rush can't get home against Brock Hoffman, who's filling in for Cooper Beebe at center, Dak, CD, and Pickens could have a really big day on Sunday in Week 3.
Excited to see what this Cowboys team will do. Can they get their second win of the season against a very hungry and desperate Bears team still looking for their first win of the season? That will do it for now. For Garrett Podell, for Briana Aldridge.